Hi, everybody. Welcome to your weekly live stream, if it goes well. This live stream I'm going to do every Monday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, other time zones. And what I hope to do with this stream every week is to update you all with the latest news in horror movies and horror genre. And also update you on the channel, what's going on with the channel, what you have to look forward to this week on Dead Meat or the weeks ahead. So that's what we've got. Now, unfortunately, I had this idea and I want to do it, but I realized that I can't really do the horror news part of the stream right now because of the strike. Because if I talk about what movies are coming out, that's very promotional. That is very much doing the thing that you're not supposed to do, the thing that I'm not supposed to do. You can do whatever. You can post to your Instagram and your Twitter. If you're not SAG, if you're just a fan, feel free. Keep going to the movies, keep talking about them. That's fine. I can't really do that. Well, you know what I can do is say RIP Piper Laurie. That's about the only horror news that I can say here. But yes, RIP Piper Laurie, obviously a big figure in a big horror movie, and lived into her 90s, right? So good for her. Good job, Piper. But I figured in lieu of horror news this week, and however many weeks that we have to do this, I can let you know an update on the strike, because I know that a lot of people just hear that there's a strike going on, and they're not sure who's striking, why they're striking, what's going on. Some people thought that the strikes were over, and that's half true. So I'll tell you what's up. There have been two separate strikes going on in the movie industry. The first one that began was over the summer. It was the writer's strike. That was the Writers Guild of America. There's like WGA East and West. They both struck. So the writers began striking. I forget when, but they lasted a few months, and they recently came to an agreement. Now, the writer's strike was against what's called the AMPTP, the American Motion Picture. I don't know, but AMPTP is basically a collective of the studios, the large studios that make and distribute films. The writers were striking for higher wages. They were striking for healthcare stuff. They were striking for room size minimums. That's the thing when it gets to strikes in these very specific industries. They're going to be asking for stuff that, unless you know how that specific industry works, you might not be familiar with, but they were working on it and they came to an agreement. It was really awesome. I'm glad the writer's strike is over, so that's great. However, that is not what is preventing us from covering horror movies on the Kill Count and the channel, or talking about them, like, for instance, in the stream or on social media, which it kills me. Trust me, I want to talk about all the movies that have come out, and I want to give my opinions and stuff, but I can't. So, yes, the writer's strike is over. The actor strike is not over. It is the SAG-AFTRA strike, the Screen Actors Guild and the Allied Federation. I forget what AFTRA stands for. I'm sorry, but SAG-AFTRA is the combined Screen Actors Guild, the union for actors. And don't forget that when we're talking about actors, we're not talking about fucking just Tom Hanks and Will Smith and shit. There are so many actors out there, and they are all part of this strike. And you're talking about the people in the background of shows and the people who have a line or two or none in all these TV shows and movies. We are not talking about rich people for the vast majority of the people who are not working and on strike. And it sucks for them to be not working and on strike. But they want better conditions in these agreements with the studios. They're striking for various things. Wages, again, healthcare stuff, a lot of AI stuff. Again, it's too specific for me to get into it. They are having talks. They were, after the writer's strike ended, there was some hope that the actor's strike would end quickly. In fact, I started working on kill counts for things that are considered struck work in anticipation of being able to release them soon-ish. But that hope seems to have dissipated, sadly. They had met steadily every other day a couple of weeks ago, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But then last Monday, I think, a week ago, or maybe it was Wednesday, it was reported that the strikes or that the talks between the union and the AMPTP broke down, unfortunately, and that they are currently suspended. That's really not good. It's not good for all the people who want to get back to work. And that includes not only the actors striking, but also everyone else who works on productions. And guys, if you watch kill counts, you know how many people work on movies. There's so many fucking people who work on movies who can't work right now because the actors are on strike. And we all want to get back to work, and it really sucks. But the studios offered a crappy deal, and if the actors took it, it would mean long-term bad things for them, especially like with the AI thing. You really want to prevent the studios from just being able to take your likeness and use that in perpetuity. So there's a lot of things going on that suck, but that's what strikes suck. That's what happens. How that affects Dead Meat. I know that a lot of people aren't sure why a YouTube channel is being affected by an actor strike. Part of the SAG-AFTRA strike is no publicity for films made by the AMPTP, which is the vast majority of films. When I say made by the AMPTP doesn't actually create anything. It is a collective of studios. So that's shorthand for films made by studios that are part of the AMPTP. Okay, AMPTP is not fucking making anything. But they strike prevents publicity of those films. Now, it is ambiguous for Dead Meat as a YouTube channel, because I do think that kill counts, and especially the podcast, I think that maybe not primarily, but they are at least part review. And so reviews are fine. You can keep reviewing movies. I'm sure you've seen movie reviewers and other YouTube channels continue their content about films. That's fine for them because they are reviews. Kill counts are kind of ambiguous, though. They're part reviews, yes, but I have also always said that they are also promotion for these movies. And I stand by that. And, part of the reason I say that is in hopes that the studios will be nice to us and not copyright strike our stuff. Because I'm like, dude, when we cover your movies, it helps your movies. People seek these things out. Maybe not everyone, but there are enough people who will go and watch a movie because it's been covered on the kill count, because it's been covered on the podcast. I've always said that our show works as promotion for these horror movies. And I'm not going to change my tune on that just because it would be convenient to say, oh yeah, on second thought, they're not promotion, so we can do this. It's not struck. I strongly believe that they work as promotion, and the strike forbids promoting films made by the AMPTP. So that's why, even though it is ambiguous, even though maybe we could do these things without getting in trouble, I feel as though they are promotional enough that I'm not going to abandon that logic and that viewpoint just out of convenience. So I mean, when I covered Slumber Party Massacre, it became a trending search topic on Pornhub. That feels like influence to me, That feels like people seeking out something, if not the movie itself, then at least part of the movie. And so that feels like with that kind of power, you got to be responsible with it. And I would like to, that's a true story. And one, that didn't only happen with Slumber Party Massacre. That also happened with one of the Wrong Turn sequels. I covered it and it became a trending thing on Pornhub. So that seriously happened. And with that knowledge, that means that if I cover a movie on the kill count, then people are going to go seek it out. And so I'm not going to promote things during the strike. And finally, the last thing is solidarity, man, with the people trying to make their lives better. And they're the people who make these movies. The writers before and the actors now. Without them doing their job, we wouldn't have all these movies to talk about. So why would I abandon them and just look out for us and us only? Yeah, it blows my mind that some people are like, why are you talking about a strike that has nothing to do with your channel? It has everything to do with the channel. Their channel celebrates film, and these are the people who make the films, so we're going to support them, and hopefully it'll end soon. There's really no way of saying when this thing is supposed to end. Again, we all had some hope a couple of weeks ago that it would be resolved quickly after the writer's strike was resolved. That hasn't been the case. Really hope the studios come to their senses. It's getting weird because as you approach the end of the year, the holidays are approaching, and if it hits December, then it might as well hit January because people are probably just gonna leave the town and go to their families and stuff. But I'll keep you updated with these live streams. I will keep you updated about what's going on. And again, this isn't fun. I know that the weird stuff, that some people really like it. And I'm glad too that we're getting to experiment and try these different things. But like, it's October, dude. This is Dead Meat's month of our annual revenue kind of hangs on this month as a business operation. And unfortunately, we can't talk about the big movies that people have been wanting us to talk about and cover. And it sucks that we can't do that, but that's the way it is, man. And I wish that the timing was different. I wish that the strike was happening in like fucking February or something. That wasn't spooky season, but that's what happened. That's how it shook out, and we're just dealing with it. We're trying to make the best of it. So we will continue to do so. We're still making content and still experimenting with what we can do, and I will talk a little bit more about that right about now. I think we can move into the Dead Meat channel updates part of this stream. That's what it'll be. And you know what? I'm hoping that as this goes by, maybe we can get some graphics. Maybe I can hit a button and it'll be like, woo, woo, and it'll like go into like Dead Meat updates or something like that. Do we got a little, what's this do? If I do Dead Meat updates. I don't even have headphones on, so I can't tell if I actually changed how I sounded there with my soundboard, but I do want to like make this a thing, It'll be fun. By the way, I forgot to say this up top. I'm doing these. That was pretty effective. Great, Ben. Thank you. Brand manager Ben in the chat. Anyone who likes the sponsor segments, thank Ben right now, because he's the guy who writes all of them. He writes all those. Like I've said many times, I ran out of sponsorship ideas after like my 5th wink to the camera while doing curls with Raycons in my ear. Ben comes up with all these very fun segments. And so you can thank Ben for all those sponsor segments that you don't skip because they're kind of funny. And you get to see me hit Zoran with a weight or something like that. And also, yeah, I forgot to say it up top at the beginning of the stream. I have workouts most days at 10. So I'll always, for these streams, I'm going to look like this, kind of disheveled, because I'm about to go work out as soon as we're done with this. This is my pre-workout live stream. Cool. Let's go. Okay, on to the Dead Meat updates section. One, I hope you checked out the 2 kill counts that we released this past weekend. On Friday was Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, the first ever graphic novel kill count. I think it turned out great with the, panning and scanning through all those panels. And Zoran was the one who did that. As usual, I did a pass on the script, but it was primarily Zoran's efforts going through all that. Zoran and the rest of the team, the editors did a lot. I think it was Josh who did a lot of the motion graphics on that. But I think Zoran had to really spearhead this because this was a whole brand new thing. A lot of fun voice acting for the sound ups. I got to play a couple of awful characters. Chelsea got to play some characters, and she's an actual voice actor, so that was good. But yeah, fun episode. Cool stuff, and I like that people liked it, so maybe we'll do other graphic novel kill counts in the future. Like I said, I really like doing the voice acting, so if we could find a way to do more of that, because like, what was my fucking voice for Raul, I think, or was it Jarvis, where it's like, hey man, we gotta fucking get these chicks on our dick. That might have been direct dialogue from the graphic novel. And then on Sunday was Mortal Kombat X, or Mortal Kombat 10, which I was super excited about, and it was nice to see that a lot of other people were excited to see me continue the Mortal Kombat game kill counts. I'll just note a couple of things. Yes, I'm aware that those weren't Blackhawks in that scene. The Blackhawks going down was a just bad joke, or just a joke that didn't land. It was supposed to be a reference to Black Hawk Down, obviously. It wasn't worth it. I know that those are Chinooks. Apparently, they are CH-47 Chinooks, judging by some of the comments. So, sorry that I I said the wrong helicopter. God, one guy got so mad, he said that he couldn't enjoy kill counts anymore because of mistakes like that. Because of mistakes like saying the wrong helicopter. Sorry, guy. Ooh, man. I don't know what his priorities are, but okay. All right. Yes, I know that they weren't actual Blackhawks. It was a poorly executed reference. Also, I apparently got it wrong. Life is Strange is not an indie game. Sorry. I am going to throw Zoran under the bus here because he wrote both of those things. He wrote the Black Hawk Down joke and wrote the indie game Life is Strange thing. But the only reason I'm throwing Zoran under the bus for those is because I am also going to give Zoran credit for what appears to be the most popular joke of the episode, Quanchinus. That was a Zoran joke. Kicks him in his Quanchinus. Zoran wrote that. So that is the only reason I'm going to throw him under the bus is because I gotta say that he made up for it with Quanchinus. A lot of people really like that one. So he did that. The Mortal Kombat scripts were written by me, and then Zoran would go through and like adds, he does a pass in like Microsoft Word or Google Docs or whatever, where he adds jokes, and then I go through, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take this Zoran joke, I'll take this one, I'll leave that one. But it's always nice to have a Zoran punch-up. Whenever you see in the credits for kill counts, by the way, kill counts have credits and have since I came back from a break yesterday, last year. It is still morning. You can see the credits of who wrote what. Written by credits mean that someone wrote the script format and the summarizing of the plot and like paragraphs of work. Additional writing means they went through and added jokes. So, for instance, with Zoran's kill counts, I have an additional writing credit because I'll go through and write additional jokes. And with a lot of mine, Zoran will have an additional writing credit because, again, he will contribute jokes. But our other writers, Tim and Jeremy, they often have written by credits. It's usually written by one of them and me because they'll do the first pass going through with the structure of the script, and then I'll go through and kind of change the structure as I need be, and also add a lot of stuff about behind the scenes stuff or just my own personal perspective about the movie or whatever I'm covering. So always check the credits if you want to see who worked on stuff. And that's how the written by credits work. Oh, wait, one more thing. Some people tried to say that I was wrong about the Wiz Khalifa song in the trailer for MKX. No, you're wrong. If you're saying that it was a 21 Savage song, no, 21 Savage was used for Mortal Kombat 11. So get your trailers right, and, maybe don't attack me for saying Wiz Khalifa when I was right about that trailer, okay? I did my research there. I might have messed up with some other research stuff. I think we played a wrong clip when we were talking about, I think, Troy Baker's voice acting. I think we played the character that he had voice acted, but from a different game where he didn't voice act it, so apologies for that. But Wiz Khalifa won. I was right about that. Anyway, speaking of the written by credits, we have on Friday the very first kill count that will not have a writing credit by me that I did not write. I maybe contributed like 2 jokes, but that's not enough for an additional writing credit even. It's really weird to have a kill count coming out that I could not contribute to the script, but the kill count is for Danganronpa. It is a anime game. It's a video game that Chelsea is a huge fan of, and she is hosting the episode. Comes out on Friday, and I couldn't contribute to the script because playing through the game or watching through the game is like 15 hours or something. I don't have the time to do that, so I could not familiarize myself with the content being covered, and I've never played it. I don't play a lot of different games. Chelsea is definitely the gamer of the two of us, but she is the one who is covering it. Tim, our writer Tim, is the one who wrote the base script. It took him weeks to do it because it's so much content. That's the thing. Video games can be fun to cover, but when we're watching a movie, that's 2 hours max usually. They're usually closer to 90 minutes, and that's all we have to summarize. When we're talking about a video game, we're multiplying that by 7 or 8 or more. We're talking about 15 plus hours of content to try to summarize. So there's no possible way we could do weekly video game kill counts. There's just not enough time in the day or the week to do that. But Tim spent weeks working on the script. Then Chelsea went through and did her pass on the script. We had our friend Jeff, who is not a Dead Meat employee. He's just a friend of ours and a writer who is also a big Danganronpa fan. Anyone who may have watched Fresh Plays, the YouTube channel that consisted of Beth, who made the Dead Meat logo, and her husband Mike, who's one of our best friends, and they're both in our D&D podcast with us, D&D. It was them and Jeff. They were on Fresh Plays, and so Jeff did a pass on the Danganronpa script, adding a bunch of jokes. He's a very funny guy. So what we wound up with was this behemoth fucking script all about something that I know nothing about. But I did watch through the first draft, and I was like, this is great. I feel like I understand what's going on. I felt like what you non-Mortal Kombat fans might feel watching my kill counts on Mortal Kombat. I was like, oh, okay, I get the hype. This is fun. And it's a very funny episode. So I'm really excited for it to come out. And again, it's just kind of weird that it'll be the first ever kill count without any writing credit to me. It's been almost 400 episodes. It's so weird. It's so weird. Just trying to accept it. I wanted to like contribute enough to get an additional writing credit, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. It was already done. So we'll see how that goes. Chelsea did a awesome cosplay, and it'll be at least 40 minutes, dude. It might be like a 50-minute episode. It's a big ass fucking thing. So get ready for Danganronpa on Friday, and then on Sunday, because we're doing double kill counts because it's October, baby. On Sunday, we've got another non-struck film because it was so independent. We are talking about the 1984 Toxic Avenger by Troma. The Toxic Avenger, this movie is fucking nuts. If you've never seen it, I cannot properly convey to you how insane this movie is. I say it in the kill count. So you'll hear this again when you watch the episode. But for the people who are like, oh, he's covering Toxic Avenger, let me go watch that. Just be prepared. It's gonna be something you haven't seen before for the vast majority of the people watching it. It's just so much, dude. There's a lot of stuff. It's very offensive and just there's so much stuff going on in it, man. But I absolutely love the movie. It's insane. Just be prepared for a lot of offensive dialogue, a lot of offensive violence, a lot of just everything is offensive jokes. Can Terrifier be classified under Troma? No. Terrifier is more Grindhouse. One, Troma is a production company. It's just that they've made so many movies that they can be their own genre, kind of. Two, Terrifier is, yeah, it's more Grindhouse than what Troma goes for. Because Troma has a lot of, like, it's all about the sex and just, like, being offensive kind of in every way possible. It's just, like, everyone's a target. We're doing all sorts of weirdos running around and doing... No, Terrifier is a more of an exploitation film, which is just like Grindhouse violence, just reveling in the violence and gore. Hope that makes sense. Toxic Avenger is on Sunday. I'm so excited. This is not meant to be a sneaky promo for struck work that may be coming out. That's not what our intention is here, so please don't interpret it like that. I've been wanting to cover Toxic Avenger on the Kill Count for a long time. We covered it on the podcast, I think in 2018, a while ago. And you can go watch that podcast episode and see how fucking enamored I was with the movie even back then. So I've been wanting to cover it on the Kill Count forever. And we found out that it is not struck. That's the thing. Our list of non-struck work has grown a lot, thanks to the efforts of executive assistant Fiona. She is on the phone with SAG literally every week. We always give them a list of 10 titles that we're curious about. Hey, is this struck work? Hey, is this not? And I don't know what determines whether a movie is struck or not, because rights are so complicated and weird. A movie could be made entirely independently, but then picked up for distribution by a company that's part of the AMPTP, which is apparently what happened with Terrifier 2. I still am not sure how Terrifier 2 is struck, but it is due to someone having the rights that's part of the AMPTP. Molly, calm the fuck down. Just want to say that our list of non-struck movies that we can cover is growing. It includes Talk to Me. I don't think I've announced it. It will be getting a kill count pretty soon. We already covered it on the podcast, but because it is a non-struck film and it is kind of a popular one, I mean, it did well in theaters. So Talk to Me will be getting covered pretty soon. There's also a bunch of Canadian and Asian films that are not struck because they were made outside the US, which is where the AMPTP is based. Just, sometimes there are additional problems with a lot of the Asian films, whether they're Japanese, Korean, what have you. A lot of those companies will give you copyright strikes for covering their movies That's what happened with Train to Busan a few years ago when I covered Train to Busan. It was the first like actual copyright strike that the channel got, not just a claim. It was like a big time bad boy boo-boo that hit the channel and took the video down, and that took months to get it back up. We had to make international phone calls to get that thing back up. So we would like to cover more Asian films. Obviously, there are some heavy hitters. The Ring and The Grudge, they are both non-struck. Audition's not struck, but I'm not promising a kill count for any of these because, again, we have to determine how likely it is that those companies will take the videos down. Anything else that oh yeah, wasn't like The Sadness also not struck? Yeah. So just stick with us during this tumultuous time, and we will get back to regular programming when we can. Okay. Yeah. Train to Busan 2, that's not struck, Peninsula, but again, that company gave us copyright strike, so I'm a little hesitant to deal with that. Last thing I'll say is the rest of the stuff coming up besides this weekend's kill counts. Next weekend, nope, Molly. No, she's gonna go off. Sorry. Next weekend, Friday the 27th, it is an Nemesis Blue kill count. That is a feature-length film made in Source Filmmaker using Team Fortress 2 assets. And I know that might sound like gobbledygook to a bunch of you, and you're like, what the hell is that? Yeah, Molly's off to fight crime. That's right. But Nemesis Blue is super impressive. I'm so impressed by that thing and how well made it is. It is not just like a low effort fan film or what it is. It is incredible. So it's also very confusing. And so we've been spending a long time trying to figure out the best way to write that script, but we've gotten it down. And I think it's a good episode. So that'll be out on Friday the 27th. And then, it looks like the plan is Talk to Me on the Sunday the 29th. So that's the October schedule. We've got Danganronpa, Toxic Avenger, Nemesis Blue, Talk to Me. That's what we're dealing with. I know that this schedule is not the usual October heavy hitter big fair, but I hope that these are exciting enough for people, even though they're more niche. I'm sorry. That's what we're dealing with here. But I'm excited. I think they're going to be good. Yeah, new merch is out. We got the U2's figures. Hit those up if you want them. They're only offered until November 3rd. These are our little buddies. It's our third U2s, and it's me and Chelsea as ghost faces. So these are on sale, on pre-order right now. I don't know when they will ship, but you can get these now. You can pre-order these now until November 3rd, and then you can't anymore. So get them now while you can if you want them. I love working with U2s because they're such little fun figures. So check that out. And then we also have regular merch out at deadmeatstore.com. Just a new one that came out is like a video store logo and design. See, this is when I should have like a little button to hit and have it come up. We'll figure these streams out. I really think these will be fun, especially when I can talk about actual horror news instead of just, hey, strike sucks, but we're trying to fucking deal with it. So that's the merch. And then what else? The Patreon. We recently revamped the Patreon. So there are more options. There are more rewards. So check those out. The $5 Patreon, especially the $5 a month tier, has a lot going on with it, because not only do we have the commentary tracks that you can get to watch along with the movie, we also started adding a bonus podcast episode just for podcasts, or just for patrons. That's an extra podcast every month where it's audio only, no video, but it's me and Chelsea talking about whatever. Usually not horror stuff. It'll just be us talking about whatever. Gressel joined us. We've had one in already, and it was me running a game where they had to guess where the 90s alt-rock singles fell on level of popularity. So they had to, I would give them like, all right, Fly by Sugar Ray. How high on the chart did that reach and how long did it stay there? Stuff like that. Like, was Sex and Candy a bigger hit than 1 week? I don't know. You can find out by listening to the Patreon only podcast at the $5 tier at patreon.com/deadmeatjames. Check that out. I think that's all I got for you. I hate ending these because I'm having such a good time, but I got my workout, so I've got to go do that. I got to go drink my pre-workout, get a little bit of extra energy. This will be the first time I'm doing coffee and then a pre-workout, so good luck my heart. Good luck my old man heart being able to just take all this shit. But I gotta get them gains. All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. We will see. Oh, wait, one last thing is the podcast is this week, and it's supposed to be this week. Chelsea has to work on Danganronpa, so I'm just putting that out there as a possible. If the podcast doesn't come out this week, it's because Chelsea's working on a giant monster kill count that has to come out on Friday. But we're hoping to film it tonight and then get it edited and out on Wednesday. Jesus Christ, that turnaround. And it'll be a fun game she's wanted me to do where I have to guess the Halloween costume sales throughout the years, like which costumes sold the best throughout the years. Like, oh, I don't know how far back she's going, but maybe like, oh, in 67 ghosts. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I walk into those games blind, and she just tells me the rules on the spot. So we'll see what happens with that. But thank you, everybody, for all that. And yeah, I'll see you next week, and tune in for all the fun stuff. Okay. Be good people. Bye.